Okay, so this session is opening wholesale accounts on your own. During the session, I'm going to explain to you how to go about opening up your own wholesale accounts and some things that you need to be mindful of, be on the lookout for, and all that good stuff. So first, before you open up any wholesale accounts, you need to know where you will be selling these products. A lot of vendors don't want their products sold on Amazon. They will stop communication with you immediately if they hear that you sell on Amazon. There have been people who have been going good during a wholesale account opening conversation, and as soon as they mention Amazon, everything gets shut down. So what you want to do is you don't want to volunteer that you sell on Amazon. You want to make where you sell your product so attractive and so believable that they don't ask you about selling on Amazon. So there are two places to sell these products. The first place is a brick and mortar store or a retail store location. If you have a physical retail store location, that is the easiest way to open up wholesale accounts. You want to make sure that the location is staged, meaning that it is set up like an actual retail store, because you never know when someone is going to be in the area and wants to come and see your location. Someone actually called us the other day because they wanted to see our location. You want to have that in place. There are a couple of websites that you can buy displays and things like that from. If you're interested in that, you can email support and I will send you the information. I don't have the websites right in front of me, but you can buy things like shelving, display cases, units, mannequins, tagging systems, and all of that stuff. So, I mean, you need mannequins. Yeah, you need mannequins. Um, that's one thing. You also want to take pictures of your store stage because there are times when you're opening up an account that they will ask to see images of your retail store. So keep that in mind. Another thing that you want to do is for your online store. If you don't have a brick and mortar store, you need to prove that there is another way for you to sell those products. So what you can do is you can get a Shopify store and say that that is how you are selling those products. Now you can connect the Shopify store to your Amazon account, and it will the Amazon will fulfill your orders, and you can share that platform. So as you know, we have our own retail store, and we also have an online store, and this is our online store. So Jim's FHQ. We have images and blocks and everything. We have photos from our Instagram account. So you want to make this as attractive as possible. You want to make sure that you have a checkout cart and checkout capabilities because the vendors will sometimes try to buy items, on your store just to make sure that they can actually buy products from you. Once again, if you yourself do not feel comfortable setting up a Shopify account or designing a Shopify account or just web design in general, you can hire someone on Fiverr. Yeah, they're fulfilled by Amazon. So when a person places an order here, it triggers an Amazon system to automatically send them those products. No, because we don't have them here. They're at Amazon. Yep. So that's the first thing. So once you have your selling platform good to go, you can move on to the next step. So I'm going to also mention some things that you need to have in place. You need to have a resale certificate. So if you haven't registered with your state, that's something that you definitely want to do because they will ask for that documentation. Another thing that they will ask for is a bank account for your retail store. They might ask to see a voided check that has that information on there. So just be prepared to have that information as well. They're also going to ask for some things on the application. I'll get to that in just a second. So how do you find vendors to open up wholesale accounts with? There's no easy way to go about doing this. There's a couple of different ways, though, to go about doing this. If you are interested in a brand, you can absolutely do that, open up that wholesale account with them. You can also sign up for trade show news, register for the trade show. You'll get a list of the vendors that are going to be there, and then what you can do is take that list. I recommend doing research on Jungle Scout to see if it's going to be a vendor worth opening an account with, and then kind of going off of that list to start opening up those accounts. And the reason that you want to do research to see if it's a company that you want to get involved with is because when you open up a wholesale account, in most cases, they will have you place an order to establish that that account has been opened up. And for some companies, it can be $500, it can be $1,000, it can be $2,000. So you don't want to waste money on an account that you can't profit off of. So that's key. So you signed up for the trade show list. You can also go off of the list that we have based on the wholesale vendors that we have. So once you have a list of vendors that you want to open up your account with, what are the next steps? A couple of things first. There is a template in the matrix in the templates and how-to modules. It's called Wholesale Contact Letter, I think, or First Contact Letter for Wholesale, something along those lines. And it's basically a template explaining kind of what your business model is, when you opened up your retail store, how long you've been active, the clientele that you cater to, other brands that you sell. And I would tailor this letter depending on the vendor that you want the account with. So if you are trying to open up a shoe vendor, I would mention other shoes that you sell, because then they see that there are other brands that you have. So you take that letter. Also in there, we mentioned that we don't need terms. So terms is credit. So if you have to apply for credit with a vendor, it takes a little bit longer to open that account. So we'll be ready to, we say that we can pay by credit card or by a check or anything like that when the order is ready. If you have to deal with credit, it takes a little bit longer. But there are some vendors that do net 30 or net 60, or when the products arrive to you. So let me explain that. So if you have net 30, it means after the goods have been ordered, you have 30 days to pay for those items, or you have 60 days to pay for the items if it's net 60. Sometimes you might place wholesale orders for items that are not going to come out until the next season. So some of you might be placing orders that are not going to come out until the fall, so October. Or there are some orders that may not come out until January. So depending on who the vendor is, they might tell you that payment is due when you place that order, but in most cases, they will request payment when those goods are released. So that's also something to keep in mind. So once you have your website or your store, you have your template, then you can go to the website and start opening up that account. So I'm going to do Manduca, which is like a yoga company. They have yoga mats and outfits and accessories. We actually have a wholesale account with Manduca. So I'll show you how to go about doing that. So all I did was go to manduca.com, and you can see right here, wholesale. So what you want to do is let's partner. So either become an affiliate, get a wholesale account. It'll say something along those lines. So what you do is there will be a section for you to submit an application. And in most cases, the application is just you copying and pasting um, your um, your first contact letter, and then they will reach out to you and send you their application. On the application, they're going to ask for your name and information, the store or website's information, the link to the store. They'll ask you for a bank reference, so the contact information for your bank. They'll ask you for 2 trade references. If you need some trade references, just send an email to support, and I will give you some of our companies to use as trade references. They'll ask for your resale certificate, and then some other documents. Sometimes they'll ask for things like pictures of your retail store, your shipping terms, and things like that. After you submit that application, they will let you know if you've been approved or not, and then they will send you either a catalog or a digital catalog or just a price sheet that you can then go about finding information on. So those are kind of the steps to opening up your own wholesale accounts. Now there is a little bit more moving parts to doing your own wholesale, but this is just the first step, which is opening up your own accounts. Yeah, that's a Shopify website. This is a Shopify website. So it doesn't have to look like it's not a professional website. Shopify websites can look beautiful if you have the right person put it together. So it doesn't have to look like, oh, like this just generic random website. Well, we had an actual designer do ours, so it's a little bit more expensive. But the person who had someone from Fiverr do theirs, it depends on who you go with. So here are the prices are right here. So it could be 35, 40, 70, 300, 85. It all depends on who you go with. It depends on how many photos you get. No, it just depends on, this is just to design your site. So to make it look good. It has nothing to do with the amount of products on there. If you want, yes. Yeah, so if you, this person is just designing your website. If you want someone to manage your website, you can probably find them on Fiverr too. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah, you can find someone to do that too. All right, are there any questions? All right, I'm going to stop this screen. Both of you came up with one. There might be. ClickFunnels is a lot more advanced. Yeah. Because I think this is more is for when you want to sell like one product directly to the customer, like they show just one product. No, it doesn't have to be one. It could be like a whole family of things. You can design how you want your ClickFunnels to operate. It's more about buying options. And the ClickFunnels, how they website works. We pay monthly for some different store or just for one? Well, you don't really have a store per se in ClickFunnels. You have different options and places and buying opportunities. So you might want to watch the video to kind of see how it works a little bit. So it like redirects you to certain places. So in a lot of cases, you'll have to integrate the ClickFunnels with other things. What was your question, Eric? Yeah, I think I just missed out. The template letter. Yeah. First contact letter for wholesale. The templates and how-tos module.